Are you constantly buying at the worst times and need help finding good buys? In this video, we're going over where are the best places to buy Crow and when to use which. For those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Ben. I've made over 6 figures trading crypto. I'm on a journey to 10K a month of passive income, and I want you to join me on this journey. Let's go. So the 3 exchanges that I use to buy Crow are Coinbase Pro, KuCoin, and Krypto Com. Now this inspiration for this video came from one of you that said I should make a video comparing the different amounts of Crow you can earn from staking on different platforms, and I'm going to do a video specifically on that topic. So drop down any future video ideas you'd like to see, especially when it comes to Crow content. So you're probably thinking, why should I buy Crow on anything apart from Krypto.com? Well, the main reason would be for cheaper fees and with the ability to trade. And this is where we're doing the 1,000 to 100,000 CRO trading challenge. The fees that I pay on KuCoin are 0.08%, and for most people it'll be at least 0.1%, which is super cheap for the fees. To put it into perspective, if you did a $100 trade, the fee would be 8 cents for me and 10 cents for most of you, which means as long as you make more than 0.2% in that trade, you'd be profitable. So on this challenge that we're doing from 1,000 to 100,000 CRO, we're shooting for 10% trades, and with the fees, I'll still profit about 9.8%. If you're planning on trading CRO or joining in on this challenge, I would recommend using KuCoin for that. If you want to follow all those trades for the challenges, check out the Patreon in the description below, where we'll be posting all of those trades for the challenges and other challenges, and have a great group of people in there chatting and sharing ideas every day. Overall, with KuCoin, the reasons to use it are for cheap fees and also for the ability to trade Crow directly with Bitcoin. On Coinbase Pro, there isn't an option to trade Crow against Bitcoin. The one downside, in my opinion, is KuCoin is one of the exchanges that I haven't connected to a bank account, and I don't personally see myself doing that, at least in the near future. So if I ever wanted to sell Crow to my bank or stake it, I would need to send it over to Coinbase Pro or Krypto.com. You also can't stake Crow on KuCoin from my knowledge, which is another downside to holding on there. The next exchange we're looking at for holding Crow is Coinbase Pro. The fees for trading can range between 0.1% all the way up to 0.5% depending on the trading volume you have in the last 30 days. The trading volume is the amount of money you've moved around in 30 days. If you sold $5,000 worth of a coin and then bought back in $5,000 worth of the same coin, your total trading volume for the month would be $10,000. So here on Coinbase, we can see the different fees. So there's taker and maker fee. So if you're under $10,000 for volume, your fee is going to be 0.5%. If you're between 10 and 50K, you're going to be at 0.35%. If you're at 50 to 100K, you're going to be at 0.25% or 0.15 for maker. And then from 100K to 1 million, you're going to be at 0.2% and 0.1%. Now let's say that my volume was $100,000 for the month, and I made about 2% to 5% in profits compared to my volume each month. That means that my profits would be $2,000 to $5,000 for that month. Now, one of the downsides to trading on Coinbase Pro is that there isn't a Bitcoin trading pair, which is something that they might add in the future, but for me personally, it's one of the best ways to trade altcoins is against Bitcoin. You also don't have an option to stake Crow on Coinbase Pro. One of the good things about this is the withdrawal fee for Crow on Coinbase Pro is 9 CRO. So if you were to buy Crow on Coinbase Pro and send it to Krypto.com and you were buying a lot, it might be the best move to buy on Coinbase Pro or KuCoin and then send it over to Krypto.com after. Now the last exchange is the Krypto.com platform. There are some amazing perks with staking on here, with 6% for crypto earn, 12% on the DeFi wallet, and 10 to 12% with the debit cards. You can check out my other videos on those functions. With that being said, the fees are one of the biggest problems I've faced on the platform. They have a larger spread of 1 to 2%, so when you buy or sell, it's actually 1% to 2% higher or lower than the market price that it's showing. Since this is a huge issue in my opinion, I try to do as little transactions as possible on the Krypto.com platform. I mostly just deposit and withdraw from there and also stake on here. I usually don't do very many trades on the Krypto.com app. In conclusion to each exchange, KuCoin is the best place to trade, Coinbase Pro is best to withdraw to the bank and withdraw to other exchanges, and Krypto.com is the best place to stake Crow. Now that we've gone over these numbers, we're going to look into the best prices to pick up more Crow. In my opinion right now, between 40 and 60 cents is a great buying range for Crow. So on this chart we're looking at on TradingView, and you can see from the peak we broke down to these levels of the 0.5, we broke through that. We even got to the 0.618, which is at like 53 cents. We even broke down a little bit into the lower range of 0.768. which you can see we are now pushing up to the 0.5 again, which is around 62 cents. So this right here is a very good indication to see where the prices can go and where are good prices to be buying. So if it's in these low ranges from the peak, if you see it come back down to 0.5, 0.618, and 0.768, those are good prices to be buying. And so you can see, I personally just like seeing these ranges to see where are good buying opportunities by using the retracement and seeing what are good support levels and resistance levels. So as I mentioned, we've been trading between 50 and 60 cents a bunch, especially on this challenge, and even got a trade between 48 cents and 53 cents. For the Bitcoin pair, I'd say around 1,000 Satoshis is a good price. Looking at the chart, it got all the way up to 1,700 Satoshis at this peak, and it's come back down to as low as basically 1,000. And for this 0.5 level is 1,029 Satoshis, 0.382 is about 1,200 Satoshis, and down here in these levels it's around 600 to 850 Satoshis. If it were to ever break down to these levels, it'd be in the 800 Satoshi range and then the 600 Satoshi range. Now the way that this works is if Bitcoin were to go up and outperform Crow, like let's just say Bitcoin were to go up 100K and CRO was trading around 60 cents still, the Bitcoin price for CRO would go down. So the Satoshi value of Crow would go down to about 600 Satoshis if the price was at 60 cents and Bitcoin was at 100K. It'd be around 600 Satoshis. So even though it's at the same dollar amount, the Bitcoin value would drop even more. And so this is another great way to trade and a great long-term trade, because if we look back just a couple months ago, CRO was trading around 300 Satoshis. So essentially you can get 5 to 6 times more Bitcoin by buying at these prices and then selling at these. And so even I sold some at 1,300, 1,400, and 1,100, and I have buys back down at the 600, 700 range. And I think even 500, if it were to do that, that'd be a great time to pick up some again. And so even though we're at 1,200, if it were to drop to these ranges of 600 or 700, but it still be a higher dollar amount, you can still get more Crow by trading against Bitcoin. And so I see this as a very long-term trade and one that you have to be super patient with, because before last August, we saw it get up to 1,600 sats before and drop all the way down to 200. So if you sold some Crow at 1,600 sats and then rebought at 200 or 300, you'd make between 5 and 8 times more CRO. So that is my goal with these trades, is not necessarily that I'm not confident in it in the long term, but to get 2 to 5 times more CRO. Comment down below your opinions on the best prices to buy more Crow. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, as always, keep it in the green.